It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 2226.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation. Here is your host, Derek Pearson.
It is Monday. It's 11 degrees outside. Okay? 11 degrees. 11:03. I am at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Student Center. The Centennial Room is filled with love, filled with hope, filled with scholars and brilliance and people who are connected and leaning on each other. So that is you will hear constantly over the course of the next hour several applauses behind me as young people, young, brilliant Lincoln scholars speak to one another and their parents in this community. And if you can circle the date for next year to make sure you're here, it would be welcome. 424-645-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. You want to be part of what we're doing, shout out, send some love. It will be received and shared. Greatly appreciated. You can follow on the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, LO channel 961 as well. Bach, kind sir. First of all, how in the heck are you?
Hey, not too bad. Good to hear from you. Good to see you. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day and happy Nebraska basketball, probably with their highest ranking ever today. So it's a good day. College football, national championship, just a good day in general.
A good day indeed. Bach, if you would please, kind sir, as you do, as you always do. Pay the bills, pay the bills. Scramble, scramble. I knew I would catch you because I'm not here with you. That is spectacular. As Bach scrambles, I will shout out Peter Ferguson and the amazing work that he's put in here. This is just an honoring the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. On this day, and to have this collection of Lincoln young people get together. There are some elementary school level students who are presented. There are Lincoln High School students from across the county who presented, and to tell you, being a part of the process and finding out what all went into creating this event and the history behind the event, and then finding out that these young people, through all the fear of putting together your thoughts to paper and then memorizing it and presenting it in front of the community in full, and it is a standing room only crowd here, by the way. Each seat is taken, and there's crowds surrounding around. There's a whole group of businesses and business leaders who have supported the event and who are in the room to help out. And it's just really cool to understand that folks can get together and present this sort of thing here, no matter where it is. But as as its presentation is put together, there's a whole lot of just trying to honor the life. I think we miss in some of what we do that Dr. Martin Luther King was taken from us at age 39 years old. And there's a lot to ponder about what he did in those 39 years. And it's what you do in your time that if love and action are connected, that great things can happen. And he did it in a nonviolent way. And there's several quotes that we will read over the course of this hour. Bach, did you find your way to our sponsor, Reed?
Yeah, I apologize. I turned my mic off and didn't realize it. But in any case, today's show is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest quality technology and communication services since 1901. Whether it's residential or business, Hamilton has the answers. Visit hamiltontel.com for more info today.
Thank you, kind sir. Greatly appreciated. And again, a full list of and Bach, before I let you go, let me ask you here. Do you have access to any of the clips that you used last night?
Yes, we do. We got 4 clips.
Okay. So if you would please, here's what I'd like to do is pick a clip and let's play that here and then come back and I will take you through some of the conversations we need to have today.
After contemplation, I conclude that this award, which I receive on behalf of that movement, is a profound recognition that nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to violence and oppression. Civilization and violence are antithetical concepts.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Yeah, I can't hear
Hog
the clip.
Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Husker Nation, the countdown is on for the biggest women's basketball event of the year, PAC PBA, coming up January 24th. This year, we're heating things up with the Big Red Beach Party. Watch your Huskers take on Big Ten opponent Illinois, decked out in your best tropical gear, with a specialty tropical drink in hand, all inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. PAC PBA is your tropical getaway right here in Lincoln. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/PACPBA.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 2/2/26.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes the complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
After contemplation, I conclude that this award, which I receive on behalf of that movement, is a profound recognition that nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to violence and oppression. Civilization and violence are antithetical concepts.
So there you have it. Welcome back to One-on-One. We'll throw it out to DP here. Just playing a sound clip here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This one from his Nobel acceptance speech, talking about how nonviolence is the answer. Violence is not going to work in the political scheme there. DP, I'll throw it back to you here.
We often allow great messaging to fade. And once a year, we get back to certain ideas and concepts, and to say that civility, being civilized and being violent cannot work together. It's not necessary, and violence. His choice to live a nonviolent life was purposeful, and we figure this out from time to time and from day to day. Bach, thank you for doing it. There's lots going on, and in a week where I'm excited about tonight. You have the opportunity for the scope, the direction. There's a GPS that sits attached to college athletics, and in each sport, there's a different sort of GPS tracking for what's going on in that sport. Football is making a statement out loud that, quite frankly, the old way of doing business, the old standards for doing business in college athletics is changing. It's changing. And you can say that either you approve it or you're with it or you're not, but I think that Indiana has done several things along the way that change the way we will look at and talk about college football. The possibilities have changed. Literally, there is a new ceiling, a new cap to what college football can be. And some of that is based on the belief that you can develop, you can change the culture. Like the culture is only what you choose for it to be. We remember all the old cliches about college football and the powers that be and the people that the blue bloods and how business is being done. But when you open the door and you open how business is being done, you have open communications about it, how college football is being done. Indiana offers the possibility. It also changes the accountability. And Bach, I want to have you in on this as we have the conversation. If we said 3 years ago, if we said out loud that the Indiana Hoosiers would be the number one team in college football and playing for the National Football Championship, everybody would be drug tested. Everybody would be pulled into a room. Bach, what does that mean to you? That if we said to you 3 years ago that Indiana football would be the top program in the country?
It's just remarkable. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like you said, kind of watching the maybe the greatest story that we've seen in college football history, or close to it, play out in front of our eyes. I think you have to finish with a championship here, of course, to put that in that conversation. But either way, it's still there. I mean, because I always go back to like the Frank Beamers of the world, the Bill Snyders of the world, take over Kansas State, Virginia Tech's historical, teams that can't quite get there. And both those teams, in Frank Beamer's case, got to the national championship game. And in Snyder's case, was a game away from the national championship game. And I consider those guys to be like some of the best of all time. They might not have the national titles as some of these other coaches, but it's amazing to see what they've done there. And this is a step beyond that, and with the worst program. And so it is absolutely amazing. You combine that with the fact that he walked in to Assembly Hall at halftime, talked about how they're going to take down Ohio State and Michigan and Purdue. That's another team that one of their rivals there. And I mean, at the time, people are just going, that's crazy. I get maybe calling out Purdue, but that's just not going to happen. He's dreaming too big. Indiana just can't do that. And then you usually think, okay, maybe give him a 5-year plan. How often do we hear, well, he's got to get his guys in. We got to, all these excuses for coaches over time. And he's turned it around this quickly.
Has it changed, at least in your mind, has it changed what we talk about when we talk about development? That you can say that 4- and 5-star recruiting is mandatory. You can say that big money recruiting is mandatory. You can say that blue blood programs exist and will always stay as they are. You can say all those things, but now you have to change the way you have those conversations, because let's start with this development. What does it say about the state of college football that Indiana is in a place where it has not only taken non-4- and 5-star recruits into the championship stratosphere, but that maybe it changes the way we look at that? Are they necessary?
I mean, you would say just about, but again, here's the outlier. So, I mean, in the history of college football, generally you're going to have to recruit to a certain level. There are teams that have made the playoffs, the Washingtons, the Michigan States over this 10-year run that don't recruit at that level. But they've been one-offs, right? I mean, they've kind of, it's nice to get to the dance and then they didn't quite finish it off. And again, that's where Indiana has a chance to kind of change that. Is it's not a one-off, it's here to stay. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because we've been talking about all along in the story, as it continues to grow, continues to the theme kind of is it fair? Is Indiana an outlier? Should every AD and coach be compared to what Coach Cignetti is doing out there? And there's probably a little bit of truth to both sides, because it like to your point, kind of changes the conversation a bit about what can be done because he's broken through.
Bach, I was asked this on a podcast Saturday, and it really kind of refocused it for me and what Indiana is doing. And this is so remarkable and so incredible that if it is not a one-off, an outlier, and Indiana is unique in its space and it's unique in a 2-year run, right? But if Indiana can do it now, what it now kind of implies is that there's another Indiana coming. And quite frankly, if you look at the other conferences of note, let's just stick to the Power Four conferences and say most likely to do the thing that Indiana has done. Remember, if we went straight to the ACC and say that the Miami Hurricanes, who are playing for the national title, and who, if we wake up tomorrow and they're the national champions, we're not really surprised. But if we say that, we have to remember that Virginia and SMU actually had better seasons and are more likely to have the season that we're talking about next year. Virginia is one play away from being in this. SMU is one play from being back in it. And, oh, by the way, the Pitt Panther and Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are right in the same pool with Miami. So of that ilk, right, it's going to take very little for another ACC team, conference team to get it together. Think about that Virginia was 7-1 in the ACC. It's now likely, and it's now considerable, that they could be in this situation next year.
Well, they could be. I mean, it's kind of fun to go down that path. Of course, with Miami, not having even played in the ACC championship game or having ever won an ACC championship for that matter, kind of opens up the door for a lot of different discussions. Of course, college football is having those 2014 playoffs maybe coming our way. So it is interesting. But again, I even think that falls short again of what Indiana's done because, while those teams are, competing, and Duke, of course, being the team that ultimately did win the ACC, again, Indiana's undefeated. So, there's, tie-breaking arguments and stuff like that. And maybe one of these teams can be the next Indiana, but that was the question going into this year. Who's going to be this year's Indiana? Who's the next Indiana? Turns out it was Indiana, only amped up another level.
Well, and if we looked at it just from that perspective, right, that if you go to the Big 12, that BYU who has as much resource as anybody in college athletics, not named Notre Dame, right?
Mm-hmm.
That BYU could infuse some more money. They've done it in basketball, and you go back and you go and get the top college player in the country to go to Provo, Utah. Well, if you can do that in basketball, you might be able to do that in football. And then right up the road in Salt Lake City are the Utah Utes, who we saw firsthand, and we could tell you that's a pretty good football team and a pretty good program. The Big 12. Who's the next Indiana out of the Big 12? Texas Tech with more money than they know what to do with. BYU with more money than most, and then the Utah Utes.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I mean, obviously, because it's a different path, right? Texas Tech's money as it partially put them there, but I also want to I do want to highlight. I mean, their leading passer, their leading rusher, their leading receiver, they're all Texas Tech guys. So sometimes that story kind of gets away from. The narrative gets away from it. Of course, they had some pretty good guys on defense that they borrowed there from the transfer portal. But, I would
on
say
loan.
Yeah, I would say that they're probably most likely, again, to kind of keep the success going. But it's interesting because it feels like the Big 12 again, and Texas Tech did not score a point. Remember, the Big 12 didn't score a point here in the college football playoffs. Has the most sustainability and staying power there. But again, I think if you're looking for the next Indiana, you got to dig deep into who the coach is, who's bringing up, who's doing more with less, because that's what Cignetti did. And so I'd have to go through the recruiting rankings and see who was kind of in that conversation.
Well, that's why I looked immediately at BYU, looking at Virginia, because quite frankly, most people outside of the Commonwealth of Virginia can't tell you the three best players on the Virginia Cavaliers. They can't tell you who the three best players are on BYU, right? They just can't. And you can go through it and expect it. The same thing even for the Big Ten, that if you look down, we would like to think that Nebraska, with all of its resource and all of those things, that it could move itself in. But if I asked you that there's a Big Ten team that is going to do what Indiana has done, not named Indiana, who comes to mind?
Well, like you said, the hope there would be Nebraska. But I think if you're looking at who's kind of doing more with less right now, I would put Brett Bielema in that category. I mean, they went 9-4 this past year. Going to have to take a few more steps forward, but beating the likes of USC, beating the likes of Tennessee, their second consecutive 9-win season or more, and that hasn't been done there at the school before. So that would probably be my pick as far as on the trajectory of getting that way. Of course, many of the teams that changed their head coach this past offseason would hope that change is what's going to lead their way toward the championship game like Signetti's in.
And if we're going to stay in the Power Four mindset, that the next great come up is already underway. It's already underway, and there are two programs that haven't been those programs when it comes to football. They haven't been in the upper echelon of the SEC. Vanderbilt and Missouri have done a lot with a little, right? A lot with a little. Vanderbilt's 10-3 this year, 6-2 in the Southeast Conference. What's the likelihood that one of those two teams becomes the next great Indiana of the SEC?
Well, again, the likelihood's not going to be high for any of these teams because I think there is still kind of a structure there. And then, the other thing is how amazing it is because we talk about maybe an opportunity to do it in the ACC or the Big 12 because there aren't these big programs that are spending all this money and getting all the top recruits. Again, I think that still matters, even though that Curt Cignetti was able to rise above it. It is generally what keeps these programs down, the resources, all that sort of stuff, is to go up against those teams. So in the SEC, for that rise to happen would be pretty tough. Now, that being said, Alabama's no longer Alabama in the SEC. This is not Nick Saban's Alabama. We've seen it. The SEC, it's hard to argue at this point, not as strong as it once was. So maybe there is an opportunity for one of those teams to rise. Vanderbilt, if they're going to have to do it, would have to do it without their Heisman Trophy runner-up in Diego Pavia. So you got to kind of move beyond that. And then again, that's what Indiana did. You thought maybe Curtis Rourke they struck gold with that quarterback. Then they bring in Fernando Mendoza and he brings it to another level higher. So that is definitely, I think Vanderbilt, that's part of the story of what the wacky world of sports we live in is Vanderbilt, a top 15 team currently. They're going to fall a little bit due to that loss to Iowa, but they're Vanderbilt in the top 25 even is a little bit outside the norm here for longtime college football fans.
From the text line, McGee says, is it incredible? Nowadays, it feels like everything is just but. When has it not been? In any sport, at any level, when has resources poured into a thing, not made it the thing? Listen, the SEC portrayed that it was just better because it meant more. No, more money was poured into it, and it just wasn't open or transparent. And now that things are more transparent, the SEC is having issues staying elite in its own space. If everybody is using the resource and if everybody is putting money into it, we said this in Major League Baseball for the longest time. Oh, boo-hoo, the Yankees are spending money. Well, the Dodgers are spending money. The Red Sox are spending money. Now everybody's spending money. The same thing in basketball. If your ability to not worry about it, same thing in the NFL, or you're willing to overpay and get into the luxury tax, you will pay for the perks and benefits of having money and resource. So, yeah, it's always been bought. It's just more transparent, and I say that with air quotes. When the reality is, everything that's going on now has always gone on. You just didn't know it. It's always gone on. Bagmen aren't new to college athletics, and sadly so, but it's there. Texas says this helps the coaches getting their guys in is almost now because of the portal. Well, if you as a coach know who your guys are, if you have a full grasp and understanding of your system, your environment, your culture, and your scheme, you know the chemistry and culture that you're trying to build. So to fill your program with those people, if you cannot develop them in full and as a one-off aside, like if you can't just specialize in developing young people to be the versions of themselves that you want and need for them to be, for you to be successful, then yeah, you're going to have issue. Money is required in today's game, but your ability to get your guys in, people that you want to play, that you want to coach, and you want to be around, and who want to be around you, yeah. And this day and age, it's important, and this is why a lot of coaches who don't want to work that way, they don't want coaches. They don't want to have to develop and form players into what it is because they don't feel like they can. In this day and age, it's not very easy because players have another option. And yeah, we're pulling back the curtain and seeing some things that we haven't seen before. But I think the game is very fluid, Bach. It's very fluid. Tonight will tell us more about the state and standing of college football. We will know whether the Indiana story is complete. I kind of feel like the Cody Rhodes thing, to complete the story, that we're rooting for Indiana as we would Cody. And then there's the bad guy. Who's your bad guy of the Miami Hurricanes, the old school. It's The Rock. It's the University of Miami. And they're trying to make you feel like, you know what? The old way is the better way. The U is throwing up. It's going to be throwing up a lot tonight. Bach, are you rooting for Cody or are you rooting for The Rock?
I don't think that I can cheer for Miami. I tried to do it in the semis. It's just not in me. I've always argued I like the powers of the sport. I mean, college football is way better when Miami is better, but it's because they are the villain. And it's hard for me. I talk about this when Texas and Oklahoma play. I usually pick a team I think I can cheer for, watch the game. I'll get confused midway through a play because it's just not natural. Same thing again happened with Miami. So I cannot cheer for them. I think obviously Big Ten fans want to feel like the Big Ten is on top, continue that story, 3 different teams with 3 different titles. But if Miami wins, they're going to be insufferable. And the biggest part of it, and the biggest reason why we hate Miami and why I hate Miami, obviously there's the arrogance and the history with Nebraska and all that. Right. But they're so darn cool. They get to live in Miami. They get to play football in Miami. It's just one of the coolest places in the world. And so I just a little frustrated that they get to have it all. And then we talk about this sport being built for Notre Dame, or all these teams get. Miami's playing a home game tonight for the national title.
Yeah, which is all of it, right? Because the story will tell you that a Midwest team goes to Miami for a national championship game in Miami versus Miami, and the Midwest school has the opportunity to change the story. We've heard these stories again, right? We've heard the story. Miami has an opportunity, and Indiana has a chance to make the country right. You're rooting for who you're rooting for. The fact that Bach is not going heel tells me everything I need to know about tonight. I think Bach loves the heel, and he is choosing. He's like, no, I can't. I like the heels, but I can't root for Miami. I have mad respect for that, Bach. It is interesting in times, right, that it is now crossed over to basketball, and the Huskers are in the same position that Indiana is when it comes to football. That the Huskers, it is the biggest story in all of college athletics right now, is Nebraska and Indiana in the 2 sports. Freaky Friday has fully happened. Indiana's really good at football. Nebraska's really good at basketball. And we're trying to figure out what it all means. Tonight is a statement that this thing can work, and Nebraska basketball is a part of the story. It's a part of the story. You can't tell me that when people go through this thing tonight, if Indiana wins it in football, Nebraska can win it in basketball, and it opens the door. I also don't think that, and Bach, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not of the school that says that Indiana has to finish the season perfect for it to resonate. I think the reshaping and rebranding of college football has already happened. What say you?
Yeah, like I was just saying earlier, I still kind of compare it to the Bill Snyders of the world, or the Frank Beamers of the world. Yeah. Look at me here, 25, a quarter of a century later, still bringing those names up, even though they didn't finish the story, if you will, going back to Cody Rhodes. So, one way or the other, it is one of the most remarkable stories of all time. It's just, do you get that fairy tale ending? And we'll have to see tonight. But No, one way. I mean, and then the other thing you look at in the future, Indiana now. My intrigue with them is okay. You did great with 3 stars and that type of guys, and bringing them. Now Indiana's a destination. The more 4 stars, 5 stars are going to be interested in going to Bloomington. Can you get the same out of them? But the what I'm saying more so than anything, Indiana feels like it's here to stay. So I the story whether they win or lose tonight is not over. In fact, it could last. Who knows? As long as Kurt Signetti's in Bloomington.
Yeah, and I think we open that is Pandora's box to this thing. That is this a Signetti thing? Like it's the Belichick in New England thing. Is this a Signetti thing? Is this a Signetti thing, or is this an Indiana thing? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure we know. We don't know enough about this new Indiana to say that it's Signetti in full. We don't know if it's culturally, or now that you've opened the gate and you've kind of pulled back the curtain and shown people that football can be good in Bloomington, Indiana. Yes, 4 and 5 stars now have their eye towards it, because if I'm a 4 or 5 star and I'm in a bad situation, why wouldn't I look at Indiana? Because I'm doing well. I've got my money wherever I was. Now I can go to Indiana and play for a title, or at least be in the situation where I can be in the playoffs. That hasn't been the case. So I think that changes for a lot of people how this is going to play out, how players are going to move in the transfer portal, how Signetti. And remember, everybody doesn't want to play for Signetti. Everybody can't play for Signetti. Like, not everybody's going to go to Indiana, blossom and bloom, and then follow all the rules. If you've been a 5-star, quite frankly, I'm not sure Signetti's way of doing this is going to be your way. We're going to find out all of those things. Tonight will tell us a lot. It'll tell us whether, one, Indiana can complete the story, right? It's Cody Rhodes. Can they finish the story? Can they complete the story? Is the U back? Because it's good for college football. It's good for recruiting to have the U. Everybody understands it. They know what the brand is. It's been rebranded, but everybody knows what the U is. Everybody knows what it stands for. And everybody knows that you're going to get the star power. There'll be all sorts of Hall of Famers on the sideline. There'll be all sorts of national champions on the sideline wearing the U. On the Indiana side, I hope you get Isaiah Thomas. I hope you get some basketball dudes. I'm not sure. Are we hoping for Antoine Randall? What are we hoping for? I'm not sure what tonight means. I'm not sure what the standing of college football will be after tonight. I'm looking forward to it because, Bach, I don't really know what we're going to get.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm glad. Good Antoine Randall pull there. Yeah, he's trying to go through all the history of Indiana there over the years. But yeah, it is definitely kind of a place in history, right, where things can kind of shift one way or the other. Obviously, for Miami, another reason if you're a Husker fan to cheer against Miami tonight, they've got 5 national titles. Nebraska, of course, has 5 national titles. You don't want to be surpassed there. So, I mean, but that is, I mean, in Miami being back or here, whatever ways you want to put it, it's still, again, with this new college football playoff, it's kind of weird. I mean, they're playing for a national championship. Under any other circumstance, I'd say they're back, they're here, all this sort of stuff. But then you've got this whole, okay, well, they've won some games in the playoffs, but again, they didn't win the ACC, lost to Louisville, lost to SMU. So it still doesn't feel like they're, early 2000s Miami or obviously 80s Miami.
No, this is not the Ed Reed, Sean Taylor Miami group. Although I give them credit for going through the rebranding, going through the process of figuring out what it was going to take to get there. And yes, it took some breaks. Yes, it took the committee identifying that they got the one meaningful win that pushes them ahead of Notre Dame, because quite frankly, we could be having this conversation about Notre Dame if they, or Texas, right? I think that we'll get to the point where it's a legacy poll, right? There's going to be that legacy, that blue blood at-large bid that goes into the playoffs, that Notre Dame, Texas, and Miami, one of them was going to get in, one of them would make the run, one of them would shake up the system. Well, this year it was Miami. I don't think many people are willing to bet that it'll be Miami next year either. But we can do that. All right, since we went long, and we've finally got a breakout session going on here. We'll go throw the break. We'll go long in the final segment. Bach, appreciate you. We are live from the MLK Youth Rally here at the Student Center It's been a great day, a great event. The young people of Lincoln have shown up and showed out. The high schoolers were exceptional. And then shout out to Pete Ferguson and the committee for putting this thing together. Just an exceptional event here. Lincoln has lots to be proud of, and their young people, they've done a good job. We'll be right back to one-on-one.
I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 2226.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint?
Welcome back to One-on-One here with DP. DP will send it back out to you. Just hearing from Martin Luther King Jr. here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day about what is your life blueprint.
For folks who have listened to me here on the ticket, folks that know me in real life, folks that have known the journey that is and how the ticket is born and evolved, and it is based on that very blueprint. In my space, it's called a love print, that we purposefully, on a consistent and constant basis, choose to be active in loving and love in action. You can cover sports and feel how you feel about sports if it is done from a passionate place and good. What's required in sports at every level is that if you love football, then you have to act as though you love football. Players will tell you they love football, and coaches will ask them, well, do you love the game enough to work at it in a way that you're proud of and that would represent the game? As a fan, you love the Huskers. Are you willing to be active and supportive of the Huskers with love as the lead? Not with venom as the lead, but with love as the lead. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, that at every moment, in every great moment in American history, at every great moment in your life, my life, our lives, it is when love and action got together that great things happen. Love without action is good, but it does not accomplish anything. Action without love keeps you busy, but it does not accomplish anything good. It is the two things together. And no part of love is built on violence or the need for. No part of your life blueprint should be built on the violence that some people will choose to put upon you and put into your space. Not in words, not in action. Do not allow it. Do not accept it. In sports, we say, as a coach, everything in your space is either coached or allowed. And I constantly will preach from the top. Be loving and be active. Use the two things together. Brother Martin was taken from us at the age of 39, and what he accomplished in those 39 years still resonates in our lives today. Sports is a wonderful mirror to this country and who we are as people. Sports removes a lot of the things that get in the way of us connecting with one another, but what it does allow is for us to unite in a place, connected in the same belief and the same hope of something good for those players, those coaches, and this community. Sports allows for success to happen through work and more work. It is a thing where nothing is given, everything is earned. And you love it more because of that. Brother Martin gave us a lot to work from in his life. He's emphasized love, justice, perseverance, character. He pointed out that darkness can't drive out darkness, that if you have darkness in your heart, more darkness can't make it better. Only light can do that. And no matter what it is you do, and no matter what adversity you're confronted with, in the face of adversity, the importance of action and the pursuit of the things that if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Be active in the thing that matters to you and the people around you. Love the people around you enough to show it in your action, not just your words, and be better for them. Therefore, being better for yourself. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Well, let me give you this today. You matter. You matter. No one is excluded. No one is left aside. No one is thought less of. We have the ability every day to sit here with a microphone and a group of people, and you join us. And it's what is on the menu. What's on the menu here today? Love. That's what's on the menu. That's the only thing being served today. If you come in today, you're going to leave with more love than you found. You're going to leave with more love than you showed up with. That's the mission. That's the purpose. We have 18 hours a day to talk sports. We will talk ball all day long. It's National Championship Day. The Huskers are undefeated. NFL playoffs all around. Major League Baseball making deals. But the story today, the lead, the headline is this. Live like Brother Martin. Love the people around you enough that they know that they're loved. And remove the reasons why you won't love them. It is a great day in Lincoln. Again, we shout out Peter Ferguson and this remarkable crew at the MLK Youth Rally. What they've done, these young people, and I hope if you weren't a part of their stream, to hear these and see these young people put their hearts on the line and stand in front of this community and just share love of themselves and each other. Find it. Find it. You'll feel better. I promise you. I don't know what's going on in your life today, but if you heard these young people, your day got brighter. Allow yourself that. Whether it's the elementary school kids who just were so brave, standing up in front of the crowd and trying to get their hearts out as clearly and as profoundly as possible. Or whether it was the Lincoln High School students who stood up in front of the masses and begged and pleaded for hope and goodness and love. And those are Lincoln kids. Those are your young people. Those are your sons and daughters who stood on a stage and asked the grown-ups to love each other. That's how powerful this thing is that was put on today. And I hope, just for a second, aside from the games, that you receive love today. I know some people are going to go, what's this got to do with sports? Everything. Everything. I hope that today you receive love. I mean that with all of my heart. Thanks for hanging out with us at one-on-one. Thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Don't go anywhere. The big guy, Adam Carricker. He'll shake the walls. He'll crack the floor. He will bellow through the halls. The big guy's coming. Adam Carricker up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with a bang. New GMC